Greetings, all kindred spirits. It's me again. Yes, once again. I've decided to come on here. I was thinking about this. This is something I share with a close sister of mine. It's not my biological sister, but I refer to people I relate to as family, so get used to it. But anywho, so to all those who are just peeking in, being nosy, I'm going to share this information that I shared with her. I'm going to share this with you. And only because I deleted a video I had on here before, I didn't think it was relevant or time for it. But I noticed someone else was in tune with the same information on here. So I'm going to bring it back again. Now, it's not on YouTube, but I still have the similar video posted on my Facebook somewhere back there in history. And this is something that I foresaw coming as a young child, but didn't understand it back then. But these were things that I was dreaming of, and it has become more clear to me now. So let me stop procrastinating and get into it, okay? So I was explaining to her that, excuse me for a moment, I gotta turn this heater off so it won't be making so much noise so you can hear me clear. Hold on just a second. Okay, my bad, I'm back. So anyway, I was having a conversation with her. I spoke with her because we both met someone that came into our lives years ago. For me, it was back in November of 2013. I met someone. And even right before meeting this person, I kept seeing synchronicities, but I didn't know what it was. And something triggered in me when I met this person. It was as if I've known this person, or at first sight, my eyes kind of like opened up and I felt something, but I blew it off. But yet, I was getting off work. It was wintertime. It was really cold during this time. And when I got to my vehicle, mind you, that weekend, I had taken my vehicle for its regular checkup. Yes. And then just so happened, my vehicle wouldn't start up. So coming back into the train station, because I park and ride, well, I used to park and ride to get to work. I came back and everybody had cleared out. So I was actually looking for a police officer to assist me. But just so happened, as I'm walking back, this person walks out and we run into each other. So I did ask him for help, but he couldn't do much. I thought he worked for MARTA, but he didn't. He worked for the company that's right next door. And he just so happened to be walking through, going towards the trash recycle or whatever. And we had a long conversation, not too long, because I needed to get home. So after that little interaction, we did exchange numbers and we stayed in contact. But anyway, over the years, things happen, what have you. And so, brought me to this week, or this past week. I I couldn't understand early this week why I was having all of these heavy feelings and emotions. Now, of course, there are monthly emotional feelings that I get before my cycle. And I just kept trying to tell myself it was my cycle. And it was. And I'm getting at something, okay? I'm speaking at a pace where I can get the information out to you, because I'm going to present some information to you that came through me that I shared with her, and it surprised me. So on the day that my cycle started, before I even knew, there was a series of emotions that continued to escalate, even from like Wednesday, and I'm trying to push it off and say to myself in the back of my head, this is my cycle, even though I've never experienced emotions this long, this much, and to this extent before the cycle came on. But I have an understanding. Let me help educate, or I don't even like to use that word, educate, but let me enlighten you about something in reference to my cycle. And maybe there are some women out there who can relate, and some men, because men have cycles. It's just not a physical experience for them. It's more like an emotional, mental experience, which kind of can affect them physically some way. I don't know. But only a man can probably express that. But anywho, when I noticed that every month, whatever challenges or enlightenment that I'm experiencing, when it's time for a renewal, I experience emotional, mental renewals a week or two before my cycle. Then when the cycle comes on, it enlightened me or give me resolutions to help me resolve those challenges and or give me clarity about what I was experiencing the previous month or the previous days or what have you. So my cycle to me actually renews me to bring me clarity. But that's not what we discussed. I'm getting to it. Okay, so once meeting this individual, afterwards, now even before, ever since I was a child, I was having certain paranormal experiences, and some of them phenomenal experiences, spiritual experiences, things that I really couldn't explain because it wasn't deeply explained to me, even though my grandmother would give me certain gestures along the way. But once I graduated high school, I became a part of an organization that kind of expounded on a lot of this information, or on a lot of my experiences, kind of gave me information. And from there, it triggered me to go out and do my own research, because I was taught within this organization to not accept what they gave me, but to kind of relate to the information, because basically the information that the person was teaching us and submerging us in the knowledge so that we can experience what we was learning was based around their experiences. Not to say that their experiences is going to be exactly how we experience it. It's just a person who found themselves in a position in this world that could relate to a number of people who was having similar experiences. And they acted as a guide, inspiration, and motivation so that we can follow at a time and put ourselves in a position and at a point in time in our life so that we can lead others and serve others. That's what leaders do. We serve. Okay? So, what I have been realizing over the years, okay, recent years of my life, I have came to realize, and I think I realized this probably much further back than that I started noticing that I could feel the energies of a heavenly body, like the planets moving, but it was affecting me mentally. And I could feel that, the movements. And it was as if this energy was moving like the planets, how the planets evolve and rotate out in space. I could feel this energy as if something was touching, like doing a chess move. I know it's real funny, but I'm just trying to relay this information as clearly as possible. Now, I'm not making myself out to be this, special person, because I am special. We all are. So I'm not taking that away from me. Trust and believe, because I love me some me, auntie. Best believe that. Don't get it spiraled out of control. Okay. So anyhow, so I started to delve more into astrology, Vedic astrology, numerology, all the ologies. I've even gotten deeper into interpreting and decoding dreams because I've always had an understanding about dreams since I was little. Don't ask me how. It was just something that was organically in me because I was always noticing my dreams, always. And I was noticing how my dreams was guiding me since I was little because I would have a dream and then have an experience from that dream. And I was putting two and two together on the symbolisms in the dreams. So what I am realizing in this day and time, okay, is all gonna come together. I just piece things for you, okay? So now I'm about to bring it together. So what I'm realizing and things that I was taught from my past. I was raised Christian, so I'm not Christian, not religious. I'm spiritual being, okay? What I believe in me. Because I believe that which gives life to all living things is in every living thing. Okay? I do not label it God. I might say my higher self, the Most High. But please do not make it seem like I'm saying God, Allah, Buddha, or any of that. Okay? Okay. So I'm just giving you my beginning, my take on things. And if you can relate, relate. If you don't, click off. Take your ass somewhere else. All right. Excuse my German. So anywho, back to what I was saying. To sum this up, I'm sorry I am prolonging this, but I explained it. So anywho, so I do research as well. So in my research, I not only research what I was taught back then, but being taught about how, starting with Christianity, how it used to say how the devil had a conversation with God, and the devil said that he's going to take all God's people, and God said, before I let you do that, I will turn them into stone. But the devil will not have any kind of control over how the people come more towards God and away from the ways of the devil. Then later it was explained and taught what I've learned, what my being could relate to, which was coming to in an enlightenment, that conversation was based around not necessarily a conversation, but what was taking place. That the masses, that there would be forces trying to deceive the world and keep them distracted and blinded from waking up to the truth of what's going on in the world, right? These people were becoming like zombies. But even though they were being distracted by technology, media, other people, places, material things, you can't stop what's happening in the heavens. Okay? So we're seeing it's beginning to come together a little bit. So there is a conjunction of planets conjuncting, coming together, having conversations, okay? Now, as I stated, all living things is engraved with a consciousness. The very planet that we live on, for those who do not have an in-depth realization of that, let me help you realize that. And if you don't realize it now, at least the seed is planted. If it's meant for you to awaken to that reality, not that's your realization, but that reality. So anyway, this planet and all planets are living things. If it wasn't living, the life that it produces, the plants, the herbs, the vegetation, the fruits that it bears, it helps sustain other life, such as me, you, if you eat it. The waters, it sustains the life. The animals, the bugs, insects, reptiles, whatever. It sustains it. Meaning that the very planet that we live on, we replicate that, because even we take from it to sustain our life. There are organisms, other living microorganisms that live within us that sustain itself by what we put into it or just take from us. They're parasites, all that. You know, the hair, it grows life. It grows out. You know, I'm not very hairy, but I'm pretty sure there are hairs that you have to put a microscope on my body to see. But anywho, you see the other hairs that grows out of the body that lets you know it's alive and kicking. But there's a source within, a life force within the planet. So that same life force gives character and personality to each and every living thing and being. Yes, it gives character and personality, because not all trees are the same. Not all vegetation are the same. Not all oranges are the same. Okay? It has its own personality. That when you pick it and you eat of it, it's for you. Just for you, because you were the one that picked it. Okay? Just like a mother gives birth to many children, but not all those children are the same. Not all of those fruits she bore are the same. So same with the planets. So these planets are interacting, conjuncting. Basically interacting. That's what conjunction. They're interacting. They're having conversations. And with these conversations and energies that's being shared, they're growing and developing and changing their mindsets. All right? Okay, so as I move on to relate to you, now these are the energies that I'm picking up, okay? So over this period of time, back to what I was saying, and I'm going to come back to this. So let's sit this right here on the table. I've had paranormal experiences, but I would always blow them off as a child up until a certain point, as an adult, because of what I was taught through the media, through institutions, influences, parental guidance, guardian guidance, whoever. This is what I was taught, that, oh no, what you're seeing is, it ain't nothing, blow it off. It's just entertainment. Because what we show you on television, if you see certain things, you got to be scared of it and run from it. Okay? So for those who were seeing spirits and ghosts and all of that, we were taught to fear it by way of the media. But when you change your mindset from that, you get a different perception of what's really going on. Okay? So even as a young adult, there were still times I would fear, but something kept trying to reach me through dreams and explain to not fear that. So even in the dreams, some of my nightmares, I was afraid when I would wake up. But then as time went on, after meeting this person, being triggered and releasing, starting to release egos and past experience from childhood on up until now, and releasing those traumas and past lives traumas and ancestral traumas along my genetic line. Yes, they have surfaced through me by way of remembering stories and even having premonitions or visions of past lives and lives of my ancestors, these memories coming forward. Right now, I am that vessel for all of these things to come through, to heal, for me to heal. So yeah, I'm experiencing a lot of emotions. And because I am the one who chose myself to go through this, a blueprint that was set for me before I came here, something that my spirit being agreed to, my true self agreed to do, signed the contract that, yeah, okay, I'll handle this. I'm going to handle this. All right. Excuse me, just a string on my finger. But anyway, so these paranormal experiences and whatnot that I was experiencing, I came to understand, Anita, you're effing up your psyche by continuing to watch these horror films. I was guided to understand that these horror films was affecting my psyche to keep me from making contact with my spirit guides and ancestors. Ancestors and spirit guides that was trying to come through, that they couldn't come through because I was allowing my psyche to be filled up with fear. Fearing them to reach me and come and sit and talk with me to guide me. And I had to learn not to see them in that light. Because maybe the stories they were presenting through their media flicks was their experiences of their own fears. And also, not just that, it was their fears that if we, certain people, beings, came in contact with our ancestral spirit guides or spiritual spirit guides, we will remember something that they did not or was not ready for us to remember, that will bring down a society, or that would awaken in us a society to certain truths and facts that are being exposed in this day and time. The time is now. So, with certain planetary movements, zodiacs being divine inspiration to the planets, their intellects, their emotions, feelings, and whatnot, the planets are being inspired. So if they're being inspired by certain intellects, stars, and energies in the darkness of the space that they're in, these energies from these great big planets and the planet that we're on, because our planet is having these conversations. So now we are here on the planet, and whatever other entities and beings on these other planets are being inspired and motivated to change their way of thinking and feeling and being in the world or in their worlds. So it's happening to some of you. And for those beings that are here, that are, how you say, what's the word? Going through a transformation and transitioning off this physical plane into another parallel dimension of existence, does not mean that they have died and left you. No, they have transitioned out of this costume into their true selves. You got to remember, we are spiritual beings having physical experiences. So even though we live forever, we do not live forever in the same costume. We come back in different costumes, personalities, ideas, in order to continue to grow and develop. We're constantly, it's a constant growth process, constant change. With chaos comes change. Chaos shouldn't be seen as something bad, because chaos itself is a formula of energy that's in motion to bring about a change. Where some of us see it as good or bad, which is neither. It's just change itself. And us humans on the planet perceive it and label it good or bad, depending on how we feel about it. Okay? So, certain planets now in the heavens, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, did I say Saturn? They're popular right now. They are famous. They are the stars in the heaven. The light is on them. They have certain energies that's here conjuncting and interacting with one another to inspire and motivate us to change as well. So society, or the world as we knew it, will no longer be. For the new moon shining its light in Aries brings about a new awareness, that fire. Aries being a fire sign. And Aries has with it a certain mission, personality, and character about itself. Just like the moon, new beginnings, new feelings, the moon affects our emotions, is bringing about a feeling. And if you understand emotions and intellect, it's like the yin to the yang, okay? Feelings, more yin, more feminine. Intellect, logic, yang, more masculine. So no matter if the moon is affecting your emotions, your intellect is going to observe what you're feeling and try to analyze those feelings to bring about certain logic and intellectualize it and verbalize it, if not manifest it. Okay? I hope you're feeling me, because I want you to feel me so you can understand, understand, or withstand me. Okay? Taking in the ethers to channel this to you as I channeled it to the sister. So there are certain beings in this day and time who has been groomed for this before time, before they came here. And a lot of these beings, they call them starseeds, indigos, crystals, bathrooms. Oh, excuse me, no, not bathrooms. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Blu-rays, Go-rays, golden childs. A lot of these beings came from different universes, galaxies, if that's how you want to address them. They came from these other galaxies and universes, because what's taken place on Earth has never taken place before. So there are beings that are being called from different sections of the universe, other universes and galaxies, because they have already been through this. So we agreed to come here, forget who we are, or forget that we agreed to come here, because once you come into the human vessel, human beings are forgetful beings. When we got to a certain level in our development and growth as a child, we completely forgot it because of the influences given to us through institutions, guidance, guardians, society, this world, peers, and etc., etc. Okay? We forgot. We had to forget so that we can delve deep into the human experience and experience some of the traumas, tragedies, dysfunctions, triggers, pleasures of this world as a human. Yet, something deep inside of us was going off throughout our lives to remember these things, but yet be able to heal these things and come to resolutions of these things and take some of these experiences to a higher level of awareness so that those who are earthlings, we can help them see it through and help them to evolve. Not to depend on us for guidance, but to find and seek out their own guidance and governance from within. So you can learn how to govern yourself away from codependency of others, institutions, and whatnot. Because there's a divine guidance within you that already exists. Why is this happening now? Because Earth, billions, trillions of years ago, agreed to it. It's just like, well, how can Earth agree to something that we didn't agree to? It's just like you agreeing to something that your skeletal system, muscular system, cells, DNA, what is it? Germs and parasites didn't agree to. You agreed to change, but change is constant through the seasons. Okay? So the energies that's hitting the planet, we can't control it. So whatever other entities that are here to feed you fear, keep you in fear and distracted from your own inner alchemy mutation, is being disturbed by these energies because they're so powerful. You see how big that planet is out there. You heard about them planets, those heavenly bodies, entities. They are, how you say, interceding, interacting, coming in to make sure that happens. So our mindset and how we were programmed, how our ancestors and so on and so forth were programmed to be in this society, it is falling apart. So a lot of you out there are beginning to fall apart and don't know what the heck to do. This is why a lot of beings such as myself are here to help guide you on whatever level you're ready to be guided on. Pay attention. You're looking for one person to appear as a giant in the sky called Jesus. The word Jesus means Savior. Okay? And Jesus did teach in your Bibles, because I was Christian, and your prophets, Muhammad, Abraham, Aaron, so on and so forth, your prophetess, Mary, Rebecca, Esther, Hannah, all of them, Anna, they were here to teach you this information and how to prepare yourself for this time. They were teaching back then so that you can continue to instill that in your seeds so that can bear stronger and better fruits. But instead, what happened was you distorted and got distracted from the information and started worshiping these people because they had certain gifts, talents that you saw as miracles and magic and something that you felt like you couldn't do. But everyone is born with a gift and talent and skills. Okay? So what Jesus and all the others was teaching, that these little tricks, gifts and talents that they had, you have them too. My daddy is your daddy too. My creator is your creator too. Don't get distracted by the man. For ye are gods. Because what's in me is in you too. So what I have to teach, listen to what I'm teaching and don't look at me and worship me. I am here just like Jesus, Moses, Abraham, and everybody else, and the others that are here too, are here just like Jesus to teach that same information, to prepare you for what's about to take place with this planet. And the same thing that's happening with this planet is happening within you. And is getting ready to change you physically. mentally, emotionally, spiritually, internally. And if you're not ready, if you agree before coming here, you just want to kind of step to the other side and see and just be a spirit being. When this change came about, you just want to be a spirit being living in this world. When heaven comes to earth, see, we always tend to look up to the heavens, where what's happening above is happening below within. Heaven is here. We connect with the heavens, the skies, the cosmos. All that's happening there is on a mental, spiritual state, which is happening within you. So everything that happens above or out there is really above and in there, in here. They both go together. So no matter if I receive information intellectually, logically, I'm analyzing it and feeling it, bringing heaven and earth together in unity to harmonize. So, in this day and time, a lot of us is running into true love soulmates. Some of you guys call them twin flames, life partners, whatever. Okay? You're meeting that being. Because as it spoke of about the 144,000, that's an equation. It's in the form of even numbers. So masculine, the divine masculine and the divine feminine comes together. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 added on up until we get to 144,000 of them. 4 plus 4 plus 1 equals 9 brings about our completion of what we need to establish. Once we get to the 144,000, we have completed. We have come to a completion of who we need to establish peace on earth. So, a lot of you being born here, don't expect, when I say a lot of you born here, a lot of these indigo, star seeds, crystals, whatever you want to call them, golden childs, that has come here, not necessarily they will have another life here. Someone's just here to assist. So some of you indigos who haven't awakened yet to your mission, but you feel what I'm saying, you can relate to this because you've had these internal question marks floating around in you and around you, questioning your existence. Some of you are only here to assist the collective minds, emotions to upgrade into a new existence. And once you're done, you're out. No more past lives here. So some of us indigos, starseeds, we had to come here ahead of time to keep having a human experience to perfect this human so we can get it right, so that we can help you guys get it right. So I hope I've got it right, or got it out right for you, and made it kind of clear where you get it. So for those who are wondering why you are bonding with certain people, person, a place, is because either they come into your life to trigger you into an awakening so you can tap into your true being, the spirit being, to start preparing the human being for the change and upgrade in the ascension of heaven and earth. For heaven is being renewed, your mindset is being renewed, your emotions is being renewed. Earth, everything, hunte, is being renewed. You're getting a makeover. Everything is getting a makeover. It's just like your house is earth and all the other houses are the other planets. And everybody in the community, the stars and the trees and everything says, okay, everything's going to get a makeover. Inside and out. Even the sky. We're going to change what the sky going to look like, what the heaven's going to look like. And there are some beings here who fear that because they've been enjoying themselves controlling y'all. Because this is their heaven. Them controlling y'all. And us at one point in time. Because I can be in the world and not of it. I can. I'm in it. I'm not of it. But yeah, so I leave y'all with that little bit. And I give you an understanding of what I'm here to bring and assist you. I'm here to assist you to learn how to heal, love yourself so you can govern yourself and not depend on me or any other light workers. Yes, we came here with these gifts at a time where we have to use our gifts to make a living. So don't go get offended and say, well, in the Bible, baby, we're not about that life. Some of us are, but we have an understanding that we have to utilize our gifts, barter and trade them for the type of currencies and energies being used to survive and sustain ourselves at this time. But it may not and shall not be that way forever and ever. Amen. A woman, a child, a baby, a girl, a boy, a hit. Anywho, I got to go. I done spent enough time on here. Yeah, so I hope y'all appreciate this. And again, I didn't finish telling you. So I do a lot of dream interpretations. I'm into some life coaching, and I'm going to be starting a class to learn Vedic astrology and not get so deeply seated and rooted into Western culture, and because I'm already here. Anywho, but not to look like I'm these facial expressions like I'm disgusted with what. No, I done kind of learned all I need to know here. Now I need to get into some other things, and I want to be able to utilize that knowledge to bring you more in-depth information to assist you with your growth. All right, I'm out. Peace. Stay blessed. I would like to say, each one teach one, each one reach one, so we can all be one. We're all headed home. Peace.